All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the CCA League. We got some Week 4 action ahead of y'all. Division 6 action, in fact. We got two teams here, Clark University versus Undertow Dartfish of the University of Denver. I'm Kyon. I'm joined by Alexel. We should have a great one ahead of us, Alexel.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool to see. Although I'm curious to see how Undertow Dartfish is going to play since they haven't played a match in 2 weeks compared to Clark University, they will stay consistent with their CCA season.
Yeah. So if we take a look at the past 3 weeks here between Clark University and Undertow Dartfish, as you mentioned, Undertow Dartfish, they've had their last action was Week 1. It was a 1-4 against the Moravian Cyber Squids. Clark University, they played the last 3 weeks. They have gone 1-2 since then, and we're looking to see if for Clark University, they also won their set against Cyber Squids for nothing. So they're looking to see if they can get that momentum going. And for the Undertow Dartfish, they're looking to see if they can get themselves ready to go after what's been a long time for the Dartfishes.
Yeah, shake that rust off. I mean, it's the only way to get better.
Oh yeah, for sure. So if we take a look at our first map here, Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control, which is going to be the first map of this best of 7 here between these two teams. This is pretty much what you remember from Splatoon 2. Of course, Tower Academy hasn't changed too much here, Alexo, as both teams really are going to load in right here. I'll be curious to see how both teams want to approach this.
I know. I mean, Tower Control Inkblot is like the most balanced map mode, so it's going to see. We have a teaching and a splat dualies, and we have a 96 and a missiles coming out. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so we have a lot of fun weapons here, as you mentioned. T-Tech for sure in the splat duels. You got the crab. And I do love the V Junior pick there. You got the big bulber around the tower control as well. And on the other side, there's still a lot. And we do see on the other side, the Autobrush and the 96 Gal Deco as well. We do see A being dropped by El Mojo here, and it looks like both teams are kind of just wrestling control of mid there with a lot of trading happening.
Yeah, but this Octobrush is holding a very strong position in mid, and just saying, "Hey, come into mid. I'm sharking you guys." As he flames up, somehow trades. Okay.
And right now, with the Undertow Dartfishes, they are definitely working their way through. They just gotten past the first checkpoint. We do see the Zipcaster live, but El Mojo gets dropped big time by Clark University. A strikes big this time, but A getting caught by the triple link strike. 2 members down already on the Undertow Dartfish. And right now, though, Undertow Dartfish is still pushing up ahead. They just got past the second checkpoint, it appears to be. But right now, Clark University, they just were able to reset it back. And right now, the tower's returning back to mid. Clark University is able to defend, but Undertow Dartfish with a good start.
Yeah, and we can see that they're trying to hide behind these different stacks to try to exert their pressure. And this, was very bad.
Right now, the Booyah Bomb there, as we do see Undertow Dartfish is there, they just got wiped out entirely. The Booyah Bomb was kind of placed in a very rough location, and they were able to break through the armor big time there. So you do see Undertow Dartfish, even though the wipeout was in play, they are able to get this push going. And right now, though, Clark University, they drop 2 members. William's the only one on the tower, but El Mojo's gonna be up ahead, trying to harass the Weird One out of there. And Weird One is actually able to take out El Mojo. So there is some of that aggression gone, but sniped out is the Weird One. And right now, Undertow Dartfish are just entering checkpoint 3.
A nice crab to try to prevent some of the Undertow Dartfish to get the tower, but it was not good enough.
And there was Undertow Dartfish. They take map 1 of this best of 7 here, and what a good start for Undertow Dartfish. I mean, not playing for the past 2 weeks hasn't really changed much for this team. They came out of this game running, and so far though, with Clark University, just not much in the way of the response.
Yeah, and I mean that El Mojo was a menace to Clark University, constantly just going in over and over and over and just harassing.
And that's a good.
Oh, I sorry, I don't really know.
You're good. Yeah, I definitely get you there. I mean, Almojo played that one very well there. Just a very aggressive Octobrush. You really love to see a very aggressive Octobrush on your team because it helps set you up further along the way, trying to keep that push sustained and make sure you don't try to lose too many while all that was happening. And really, with Undertow Dartfish, even though they got that first initial push, yes, they did get wiped out a bit, but it didn't really phase them all too much at the end of it.
And even with Clark University pushing back for a little bit and getting some points, I mean, there was a quick wipe, and then they just pull back even further and just hit them even harder to knock out.
Yeah, for sure. And we got Inkblot Arcami Tower Control. That's Undertow Dartfish with the first map of this set. We're gonna move on to the second one. It is Wahoo World Rainmaker and Elixir. Just Elixir, in your eyes, what do you think you're gonna see here between these two teams with Wahoo World Rainmaker?
I mean, I really don't see that much of a change in, I believe, comps because they had pretty good balanced comps. I'm just curious if they're going to ever try to take it to the right side or they're going to just go full onto left on glass and try to get that,
That's a good point because the two paths here in Wahoo World Rainmaker there. Really you could see both teams really approaching it either way as we're about to load in here, and we do see very different choices actually from Clark University. We do see those Tetradualies and the Nautiluses in play, and a different flavor of the Junior especially. But it looks like on the other side there for Undertow Dartfish, they're going to keep pretty much the same-ish comps that we saw.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how the Nautilus is going to play, since Nautilus is known to harassing frontliners that are shorter range than it, but pretty much Undertow Dartfish has nothing like that. As Charger is immediately like trying to just harass this invader.
Yeah, right now with both these teams, they're both basically just trying to trade aggression. The Tetradualies do drop. We do see 3 members actually down on Clark University's end. This could be the push that Undertow Dartfish needs, but right now everybody's just trying to focus all of their ink onto this Rainmaker bubble there, and they are able to take out Ross-Ann. Ross-Ann went down to the explosion, and so far with this Rainmaker, Kitty is able to slam it home for the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and again, I was surprised. They took it right, which is usually a more dangerous option than most plays. As it's shown right here, as they try to grab it, getting immediately punished from the newly spawning players.
It's a very good point that you mentioned here, because the right path, even though yes, you could easily try to go through that right side path with the bridge to slam it home on the right hand side, it is really close-ish to the spawn. Left side generally is more safer, as you mentioned, but really Undertow Dartfish are looking to capitalize on the right. And as you see with all the action that happened, there were 3 down on both sides. The player's just gonna pick up the Rainmaker. Now this could be a very bold move. William is the only one alive that can even contest, and William is able to trade, but more importantly, the Rainmaker stays where it is. Ross-Ann drops to the Charger shot, and pretty much it stalls out Clark University's push right there. Good hold by Undertow.
Yeah, now this Charger just got a nice pick against the camp, and Tetris also goes down to Homojo, and it's a full wipeout.
Yeah, it was a really good wipeout actually from Undertow Dartfish. The Dartfish had able to break through that first checkpoint, able to win a lot of these fights against Clark University there, as we do see again more trade on that side. But look, Clark University is kind of out-rotated entirely. The Rainmaker just went the opposite path, and just like that, Undertow Dartfish, they put it down to 11 points remaining. Yes, the Rainmaker holder went down, but it is still a good lead that Undertow Dartfish just had. Clark University just didn't look ready on that rotation, and right now Undertow Dartfish, they're still looking to contest, and it is 3 members down on Clark. But could we see something good here from the rest of Undertow Dartfish? And it is 3 down, but the Rainmaker is being ran away from Egg.
That Rainmaker was like, I don't want to be here anymore. It just got punished by Almojo.
And right now with that the Rainmaker Egg just pushing the Rainmaker back further down, and the players ain't able to stop the rest of the push by themselves. And already Undertow Dartfish, this push is completely stopped. Clark University holds like that, and now Clark University, they're gonna opt for the reset. Now they're focused. What appears to be here is gonna be painting across mid and the remaining territory. Try to see if they can reclaim some of that territory back.
Yeah, and there's the Rainmaker reset, but I mean, I honestly think that Undertow Dartfish is just going to wait Clark University out, having them come to them because they don't have to push at all. And literally, Almoju just shark too and got those picks.
Yeah, just like that, with all Mojo already getting 2 off of Clark University there, but really nobody really around that Rainmaker. But it is a very good point, though, too, that you mentioned Elixir. With Undertow Dartfish having such a huge lead, they could play a lot more defensively, just trying to make sure they can stop any pushes that Clark University has. It is a very good, safe move, but obviously if the fight goes horribly wrong, Clark University could have the door open for them. And right now, both these teams are just still brawling as we speak here, and it is still a lot of members down, and the Rainmaker barrier just broken as it is. William may be able to get the weird one. Weird one's going to be able to fall back.
And Williams just died to Torpedo, and Almojo is somehow picking up the Rainmaker. Hopefully they can see this flank from the Tetris. Oh, and no, oh, wow. That was an interaction.
I mean, that interaction was a little fascinating. The Tetra almost putting one of the Rainmaker holder down at such low health there. And I think if I recall in that one, Undertow Dartfish had that Rainmaker. This could potentially be the overtime that's coming up here. Triple ink strike, almost getting Almojo. Almojo drops 2 members already down. It's 3 members down, but they do not pick up the Rainmaker. They were just a second short.
I feel like some of that was a little bit of latency because that Rainmaker definitely should have been grabbed, I think. But, you know, the game is what it's the game. You just gotta go with it.
I have to count. There were like 3 members of Clark University just around that Rainmaker. It was literally inches close from being picked up. It could, as you mentioned, it could have been latency. It could have been a whole lot of things. At the end of the day, though, the Rainmaker doesn't get picked up, and Undertow Dartfish wins the second map.
Yeah, and you know, with Clark University, I mean, they probably came in here thinking like, we're gonna definitely beat Undertow Dartfish. They haven't played in 2 weeks, and who beat them? But that's not obviously the case here with 0-2. But yeah,
I mean, with no, don't worry about it. I mean, with Undertow Dartfish, I mean, with the last 2 weeks, it doesn't look like they showed any rust. They looked like they were geared up and ready to go. Both teams are immediately moving on to the next map here. I do want to note, though, real quickly. I mean, Undertow Dartfish, they looked ready to go in these maps so far, and it looks very clear here with Undertow Dartfish. They haven't played a game in the past 2 weeks. So what? We can definitely show up here, and they're definitely showing up.
Yeah, and I'm curious how I see they're going to play Clanblitz Mikomar since the baskets are actually very close to each other. So, I mean, Undertow Dartfish plays a little bit more of a defensive game with their midliner, backliner weapons. But, I mean, they need to either hold a very strong position or go full aggro. And we may see some changes on the side of Clark University.
And especially with the barriers being so close to each other, I feel like you could go either way with some of these approaches there. Playstyles could be very aggressive. It could be very long range, heavy here, and I think to no surprise, so I don't think there were many changes on Undertow Dartfish's end, and Clark University is going to stick with practically the same-ish choices there. I think the Slosher Machine, if I recall, is being played here. I don't think it was played on the last one. Someone's going to eventually correct me on that one, as we do see both teams already just trying to run up to it, trying to gather all the clams.
Almojo going a little bit too aggressive and got punished. And 3 down instead of Undertow Dartfish. If Clark University is able to get their clam economy up, they could easily start a push.
Yeah, but really with Undertow Dartfish, they're pretty much trying to paint around this barrier area, trying to secure that really close location right up and close to the barrier right now, but they don't have any clams to really show for it, and the person with all the clams drop, and there's nothing on the side of Undertow Dartfish. Look at Clark University. They have a ton of clams that are in their possession. They just haven't gotten the power clam just started up yet, so really both teams just still trying to farm up at clams or trying to find that opening against the other team.
Yeah, and they now have a power clam. They'd have to play very patiently and see how they're going to do this. And they got punished by a sniper, I think.
Yeah, they're just getting punished on that jump there. They're trying to force the jump on that left hand side, trying to see if they can get that close shot in, and that power clam is gone entirely, and both teams back down to low clam counts, and rarely both these teams are just fighting each other, just trying to see if one can outdo the other. But where are the clams really for either of these teams? They're still trying to get the power clam spawned in. There's a lot of brawling happening in this Mako map, especially.
Yeah, I mean, but it seems like Undertow Dartfish is kind of having a little bit rougher time with losing a lot of their engagements, as I see Almoja just comes and jumps down onto the T-Tech.
Yeah, and Almoja just dropping down, able to pick out a second member there, the weird one dropping just like that. We do see Almoja just trying to run all over the board, and it's just a bit of a few trades there left and right from Almoja. We do see Kitsune. We could be seeing okay, so some interesting movement here from Undertow Dartfish. Not sure exactly what's happening here, though, as we do see a lot of trading really happening in between both of these teams, and really no power clam whatsoever to note still. It has been just a defensive brawl between the two teams here. Both teams really trying to find their way through, and right now no one really getting a power clam spawned. This has been the most defensive battle I've seen between these two, between either of these teams.
Yeah, and half the match time is already over, and there's no points that have scored so far. But oh no,
And as you go ahead, sorry.
To make a push, but couldn't make it. Now Clark, now Undertow Dartfish is like, yeah, we're going to go even further in.
I mean, right now with Undertow Dartfish, they're just trying to find any sort of engage they can work with. They got seven of them in. The power clam has just spawned. I think there was a pass that was assisted there, but the follow-up is all the way back at base, and it's really just one power clam pushed in, but only one of them has just spawned. And as we do get to see where in this overhead map there between both these teams, it's just complete turf control, really. Not complete turf control. It's just been a trade of turf control between these two teams here, and really with that initial push there, the PD clam has spawned in, which gives Clark University a free power clam to work with, all things considered. And there's still a lot of brawling really happening between the two, and they're just trying to find that opening for Clark. Yeah,
but it seems like they're trying to make a stronger push onto the enemy basket. But like you said, it's just constant back and forth between the two sides, with Booyah and missiles coming out to deny more space. As two go down on both sides, so this is going to be even more of a stalemate.
Yeah. Right now though, we do see the Flings are able to take out two members. William is just doing a ton of work right now, and at the end of all this, William is able to negate some of that push that we just saw between that Clark University was definitely attempting there. As we do see with William, all things considered though, with Undertow Dartfish, they're still trying to find more picks here. Two members have already dropped though, and make that one of the members, and there's still a lot of trade happening between these two teams, but really no openings so far for Undertow Dartfish to get this push going. They have a power clam though.
Yeah, and hopefully looks like they're trying to move in with the missiles, and they got a pick with missiles, and it's the perfect setup for a clam basket to be open. Oh, and this could be the game here with how overtime works.
Yeah, they were able to break that barrier open though. So here's the thing: they have the power clam spawned in. Because it was such a quick push, it's just 1 plus probably around 4 that they need to break. Clark University is able to break through the barrier. The follow-up has to be there. There's 4 clams. You gotta chuck those clams in, Clark. You gotta get 2 of them in. That opening is still there, and Clark does rein it back. And so far, Clark wins the 3rd map of this set thanks to that overtime.
Yeah, that was a very good overtime play by Clark University. I mean, they were constantly getting beat down by Undertow Dartfish for most of the match, but they played it a little bit patiently and waited for that basket to close, and imagine that, as the Undertow Dartfish's guard went down, they went hard in and opened that basket to score in that victory.
I I mean, really, the first initial push was very good, and then the second push followed up suit from the rest of Undertow Dartfish, but it was only really for both those pushes. It was just a power clam. With the way overtime worked out, they had the pity clam available, and it wasn't a huge lead at all by Undertow. Clark just needed one power clam plus around 4 to basically snipe the lead back, and they were able to do so thanks in large part to overtime and just how small the map was for Mako.
Yeah, and I mean, it was. I think these teams could also be pretty close to each other. I mean, for that last match, it showed like how defensive each team played because nothing happened for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds of just back and forth killing and splatting and turf control.
All right. So now we got Clark University on the board, and we're gonna be loading in here to Flounder Heights here, and it's gonna be on Flounder Heights, or Splat Zones. Splat Zones here for map number 4. Tell us what we could be seeing out of Flounder Heights Splat Zones, really.
So I mean, on Flounder Heights Splat Zone, I think we're not going to see too many changes on side Undertow Dartfish, as they have plenty of paint control with the brush and the flings. Though we may see that egg on the side of Clark University switch over to the V Junior we saw in the first match, and maybe the Stoolies and for Roseanne for Clark University, because those have a little bit more paint, and Crab can help deny space. But let's see these comps.
And so far, really, between Clark University and Undertow Dartfish, they're pretty much keeping the comps consistent between the two. So they basically haven't really changed a whole lot. So we're gonna be seeing pretty much the same thing. Only difference is the different map modes that we saw so far.
Yeah, and it's immediately a fight between the Tetris and the Octobrush as Omoja goes down to Roseanne. This is a very dangerous play by Tetris that gets immediately shut down by Undertow Dartfish.
And right now, Undertow Dartfish has been able to shut down some of that push there from Clark University. I mean, Clark University just destroyed all the specials there, but they did lose 3 members. And right now, with Undertow Dartfish, they're trying to get both zones. There you go. Undertow Dartfish able to wrestle both zones in, and now Clark University having to spawn right in right now. They're gonna try to see if they can get one of those zones at least neutralized, and it looks like they're able to do just that, at least for now.
Yeah, but I mean, that Tetra has to get 2 picks on the side of Undertow Dartfish, but they need to paint over that zones in order to actually gain any sort of control, which is they're kind of stumbling their way through paint control.
Yeah, they're still kind of working their way through, but the Tetras! Oh my goodness! That was a triple from Rossan, and that opens the door for Clark University to get both of those zones. Look at that! Rossan on that Tetra duelist getting, I believe, 5 just like that, and Clark University waking up big time.
Yeah, Clark University is now in a very strong position to try and just deter all of Undertow Dartfish as the machine gets multiple picks, or almost.
Yeah. And right now with Undertow Dartfish, you mentioned multiple picks were being dished out there, and right now the zones has been neutralized, and this Undertow Dartfish able to wrestle control, but more importantly, by taking control, they put Clark University in the penalty box with 37 points in the penalty. So still, even though they did lose control for like a quick second, that's still very important for Undertow Dartfish. It buys them enough time to try to catch back up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm willing to try to get that pick, but right now Pinkins get punished by the Tetris as they saw that perfect opportunity to take down one of the members of Undertow.
Yeah, and right now Clark University trying to get through some of those members right now. There's just really a brawl between both these teams. Not one of them really having full control of that zone. And right now, Almojo is just trying to do everything they can to basically make sure that Clark University doesn't try to defend either of these zones. It's just an all-out brawl, and it ends with 3 members down on Clark University's end. And Undertow Dartfish has both zones capped. And as I mentioned before, the penalty points are starting to become more and more important as we're about to approach the 2-minute marker. Undertow now has the lead.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an amazing burst control of just quickly trying to get zoned, but it wasn't enough to go and cap the zone and give them penalty. as more people go down inside Clark University, and Undertow Dartfish is holding quite strong to their push.
And Undertow Dartfish, they're just having all the momentum right now. They've taken out the Tetradulies again. It's 2 members down, and the respawn timers are really not favoring Clark. They're having to struggle in to just at least neutralize the zone. It has to start with a pick, and the Wavebreaker only thrown in, not really providing much paint. They have to stop both those zones right now, and the Crack is trying to play interference. The Booyah Bomb, it could be thrown on the other side. Does it cap the zone? It takes out 1 member, and right now Clark University, could they wrestle in? But 3 members have dropped. What a fight for Undertow, and Undertow Dartfish with a huge win on that team fight. They take home map 4.
Yeah, it was starting to become a bit of a stagger towards the end for Clark University, which is a bit unfortunate with the constant timer just going down. Undertow Dartfish played out very well though, constantly just making sure they don't overextend too far into the enemy side, just waiting them out on the zones themselves.
I mean, I really have to appreciate the effort that Clark University had. The Tetradulies, Ross-San was definitely trying to make something happen for Clark University. Excuse me, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, I will always highlight the fact that Ross-San got 5. She got 5 off of that initial push to at least give Clark the early lead, but Undertow Dartfish, they were able to recollect themselves and then just win crucial fights over and over and over again to take home the KO.
Yeah, and I think we could be moving on to the next match soon, which would be sorry.
No worries. I got you here. It's Hammerhead Bridge Tower Control. That is gonna be the next map here. So it looks like they're gonna move on to just that. And Elixir, we've seen these teams. They basically have dished out pretty much the same comps in the past. In the past 3 maps, could we be seeing it again here too?
I mean, I believe so. I mean, on the side of Undertow Dartfish, you got the Charger to hold that very strong mid, since it's a Hammerhead Bridge is kind of a hallway, and we have the Roseanne, the Tetris player, on the side of Clark University, which, as long as you can somehow just keep diving in and distract them from looking at the power path, Clark University could also take this win. But I mean, it's up to those 2 players on how they maintain, control.
Yeah, I think really how both teams handle the amount of painting that they have in this map is going to be really key here. Right now for Undertow Dartfish, this is match point for them. If they win this one, they will win the set against Clark University. Clark University, they have to win this one to stay alive. And as you mentioned, there is a slight change here. We do see the Splash Omeg that was being dished out here, and it looks like both teams are going to be tuning in just now, and looks like both teams are kind of rushing into that middle side.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no changes in the comps, and because of that, Clark University is able to play very strongly to their play style, since they've been practicing with it for who knows how long. Whereas Clark University has to try, work around the new meta pick, which is Splash, which is easy to work around because it's Splash.
Definitely, and it looks like Undertow Dartfish, they're just winning all these fights again. Most of these fights that they have won in the previous maps had taken out 3. It's a delayed wipeout, especially here for the Undertow Dartfish, and they're able to get past the second checkpoint. And they're just able to continue.
More picks coming from Mojo, just constantly distracting them with going in and harassing their spawn points. But unfortunately, it looks like Tetris tried to do something, but they just fell off, and now Kraken's going to get that checkpoint, possibly. Or no. Wow.
They may not, actually. That was a good point, because they definitely did not. And the jump was way too late, and Clark University, they get the wipeout just like that. So the push has been stopped, but Undertow Dartfish puts it up to 16 points remaining. A lot of time for Clark University, though, but you definitely needed that wipeout to stay alive.
Yeah, and now Clark University is trying to go into the enemy base to try to exert their control, but unfortunately, just the dodge roll just stopped right in front of the Charger laser.
Yeah, Yeah, right now though, with the rest of Undertow Dartfish, they're still winning a few of these fights so far. A good snipe onto Egg. That might help matters there. That is the junior going down. But really though, both these teams are just having to stall mid as much as possible. Clark University though, they're dropping members again. A delayed wipe, and that once again, Undertow Dartfish are gonna try to get this push going.
Yeah, and now Egg has to play a little bit more patient, just wait for their teammates to come back, and as the charger goes down the side of Undertow Dartfish, so we may see something, but two on both sides go down.
Yeah, two on both sides going down, but the Flings will get picking up the weird one. That's gonna help a lot here though, and the player drops. William getting a double with that Flingza, and it's able to keep the checkpoint onto the third. But right now though, it's Clark University. They're able to stop some of this push there. Almojo does take out Egg, not before going down. Just an all-out brawl on this third checkpoint here, and it looks like with members dropping, however, on Clark University's end, the weird one drops. Kraken on the tower. Kraken is on the tower, and the player trying to just rush in, able to trade at the very least. And right now, Undertow Dartfish are just taking out all the members. It's just an all-out brawl, just trying to even get past the third checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it's constant, like, kicking the tower and then someone dying on it. Just like both people are just rushing their bodies at the tower. But it looks like tower's now going to slowly return to mid.
I can't believe Clark University was able to hold off that push there too, because that was looking very, very dangerous there. I do want to note though, Clark University losing some of those fights, they're keeping their cool together here. And now we see the big bubbler online for Egg. At least trying to use the big bubbler just so they can get the tower back onto the first checkpoint. But now you got to start winning some of these fights. It's two members down already on both of these teams now as the Tetras just dropped. And really, with Clark University, you can't really push too much up ahead. William just punishes a few, and William's going down again, an all-out brawl just around mid.
Yeah, but at this time, it looks like the Clark University has better control over mid. So Undertow has to play a little bit more defensively in order to hold their position. As Booyah's thrown inside of enemies on the Dartfish's side, so we could see something as a nasty pick on tower after its charger.
My goodness, the Chargers just getting some really awesome snipes here on Hammerhead. Kid City's just playing out of their minds, but Kid City drops. It's actually 3 members down. Maybe Clark University, if they can, they gotta just be able to push up ahead. But they do lose 2 members. They can't really get this push going. Almojo respawns, able to take out a member, and Almojo's trying to rush into that tower right now. Is gonna punish the squid jump. Almojo just the only one on the tower. Almojo takes out 2, and now engaging the zip caster. Can Almojo find more? No, getting punished, and it is a 1-for-1 trade. Tower still in mid, but Undertow's on it.
Yeah, it looks like the Kitsune is just trying to hold on to the control of the tower just so they can somehow prevent overtime from happening, as they do, and they take game 4 of this set.
It's not just the 4th game they've taken. It is the victory for Undertow Dartfish. Undertow Dartfish winning this entire set 4-1. It concludes in this Hammerhead Bridge tower control. Congratulations to Undertow Dartfish taking this one home. And really, I gotta give credit to both of these teams here. I mean, a lot of awesome plays really from both teams so far. Clark University just definitely there was a lot of signs that Clark Universities were trying to hold their own, trying to convert something on that one. They definitely taking home Mako Mark Clamblitz was a step in the right direction, but Undertow Dartfish, they were just a few steps ahead of them the rest of the way, taking home the other maps that were in play here and in Splat Zones, Flounder Heights, and Tower Control Hammerhead Bridge to win the set 4-1. And that's going to be the set. That is going to be the set now. In typical CCA fashion here, can we see a play all 7? Do they want to play the remaining maps? I would love to see.
I mean, yeah, I would love to see these two teams constantly just play the CCA tradition of play all 7, because these teams have been having exciting fights in mid with just constant brawls.
There is no play all. Thank you there, and yeah, we are seeing the messages here. There is indeed no play all 7. The CCA tradition does not continue on here, so we do conclude this set. But between the Undertow Dartfish and excuse me, Clark University. Again, Undertow Dartfish winning the set 4-1, and the last 2 weeks they weren't able to play. They still look like they were ready for this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think these two teams could be interesting to see in Division 6 to see how well they finish and as we continue through the CCA league. Although, unfortunately, it looks like everyone's starting to leave, so we may have to start, finishing up this the commentary.
Yeah, I got you. I got you there. I don't think I believe there is not going to be a follow-up game here ahead of us. So it is gonna. So I believe do believe that there is gonna be another game later this evening between Axolotl Airlines and PSU Nittany Lionfish. That'll be the one coming up at around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. But I think we should be good to sign off. I believe one of these twos will eventually be right. Someone's gonna yell at me if that's the case.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for the confirmation. You guys were awesome. And I'll go and play your stuff up. Elixo, where can people find you?
So yeah, you can find me on Twitter on Elixo68, or you can for some occasional posts, mostly probably retweets of popular Splatooners and other competitives, and also find me on my team, UCF Kraken Squids, which is on Division 1.
Ooh.
And how about you there, John?
We'll be cheering you on. Yes, you can find me, Kiln2570. I have a Twitter. Twitter's just full of nonsensical things. And then Twitch, I stream a lot of things. I definitely do stream a lot of Splatoon, but I also stream a lot of other things there as well. And that's you can find me as usual, Kiln2570. They're on the screen there. As you do see the Squid Sisters on camera, they're trying to plot something here. We'll have to wait. Maybe sometime down the road, we'll see what they will be talking about. But with all that's being said and done, I think that's gonna wrap it up for both of us. With Elixo, it was great commentating with you, of course.
Yeah, it was great to be commentating with you too, Keon. And I think with that, we should say, with the Squid Sisters front of us, like, stay fresh.
I'll follow it up with you there. With Elixo, I'm Kiln saying thank you guys for tuning in to the CCA League. Stay tuned at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time for the next CCA League game. And as the Squid Sister says, stay fresh. We'll see you guys later.